We be live.
Yes, we are.
What are we doing today?
We're gonna be talking about like Hindu Genesis, Hindu
Right.
creation stories,
Yes. Creation story.
mythology,
Yes.
cool gods.
Yeah, most people are familiar with the biblical Genesis story. And it's very interesting that, you know, the third most largest religion in the world. Most people are not familiar with the Genesis story. And to be fair, the Genesis story, the creation myth in Hinduism is kind of fluid, just like everything else in Hinduism, except the most, the core parts are nonsense, but even some of the main parts of the mythology, people keep. It's very interesting because every time we
In
highlight.
fact,
Hold on, let me finish my sentence, please. Every time we say something about Hinduism, we have a whole bunch of people who get butthurt and like that's not true Hinduism, and it's very interesting because these are usually the same people who keep telling us that there is no such thing as one Hinduism. So if there's no such thing as one Hinduism, how is it that when we highlight something in Hinduism, they come and say that's not true Hinduism? Like, you see the hypocrisy, right?
yeah.
So they keep telling us like, oh, Hinduism is like fluid and different people have different stories, different creation myths, and it's a little bit. Some people look at it this way, some people look at it that way. Some people look at the the spirituality. Some people, and in fact, the whole devotion to these gods is like, I know is ancient based on our standard, but it's modern when it comes to the whole history of Hinduism. If you look at it, and we know these things, and they always come here and they act like we don't know what we're talking about. But they themselves, like a lot of these Hindus, actually, when they come and try to correct us, they actually know less than we do, which is amazing.
it's
Yeah.
it's really funny, because like many people acknowledge that Hinduism is ineffable in many ways. Like
Mm.
there's no singular way to capture it, but at the same time, when you're trying to talk about it, suddenly they're like a fundamentalist. And that's what I was going to highlight, Katie, bringing up that very point. The moment you said Hindu creation story, she goes, one version.
Yes, I know. We know. Okay, but however, even though Hinduism is very fluid and it's basically a mixture of multiple religions, and here's the thing: the idea that people are like, oh, this is just like a mix and match of multiple different traditions and stories of different people that was merged together. The thing is that, yeah, that's every religion, right? The only difference is that and in Hinduism, just like religions before Abrahamic religions, that codification and that intolerance for anything that was not according to the central canonic text, um, there is more willingness to be open about, oh, I'm a follower of this god, you're a follower of that god. Hey, oh, I see you have a nice religion over there, let's make your religion one of our gods. Like, what? Like, yes, your whatever you're worshiping, we're just gonna make it one of our gods now. Like, okay. So like, it's just like that whole idea of just like bringing in and merging. It's true with Hinduism, but it's also true, it was also true with Greek mythology, Roman mythology, Egyptian mythology, Persian mythology. It's only with Judaism, Christianism, and Islam is like, even though they got their ideas from other religions, once they codified the central thing, they were like, nope. Like anything like wants to come in and be like, hey, can we get this? Like, no, if you are a heretic, if you step outside of this, you be a heretic, right? So like but the
Heresy in the first degree.
yes. So Hinduism is not that unique when it comes to just be like mix. It's like cooking, right? Like you just put like, let me put some cinnamon here, some sugar here. No to say no to sugar though. But and let some put some coconut flour here. It's just like that is not unique because that's how everything used to be. it's just like, yeah, the Islam and Judaism and Christianity are just not like that anymore, right? It's like one of those people who has a recipe and it's just basically like, if you increase the sugar by this much, then the whole thing is ruined. So that's like basically Abrahamic religions, right? Anyways, anything in the comments we need to highlight before we go review this Genesis story?
Shuvo is saying the flexibility of Hinduism lets the angry Hindutva people cop out of any discussion related to empirical evidence, or at the least they try to use it to defend their nonsense. This is a very good point, Shuvo.
Yes.
Very good.
The interesting thing is that when we have a problem with religion, it doesn't really matter how fluid the religion is. The foundation of all of these religions, whether Abrahamic or non-Abrahamic, is based on knowledge seeking, and truth verification process of all of them is based on a flawed methodology. We don't really, I mean, when it comes to like looking at Genesis, this mythology and stuff, we're doing that for our entertainment, right? We're not doing that to show that these religions are wrong. These are just, the mythology is interesting. That's why we're looking into it. When it comes to, oh, but we're fluid, so that's better, or we're not fluid, and that one is better. We don't that we already have determined that you are rotten from the core, based on it doesn't really matter what's like where that leads to, because the foundation methodology on trying to come up with conclusions is corrupt, right? Is rotten, right? That's, we have a problem with no matter what religion you are in, right? However, we also love all of these religions for entertainment purposes, for the mythology, the story,
the art.
Here's the thing: the mythological stories are somewhat interesting, but what I find more interesting is the story behind the mythological stories, right? Not necessarily the mythology stories themselves, but the story of the storytellers. Do you know what I mean? Like right now, we're in the process at Atheist Republic. We're like looking at mythological stories. They're somewhat interesting. They're fascinating, but we are more interested in what these stories tell us about the storytellers, right? So it doesn't really matter. So first of all, if the fact that stories are fictional stories could be interesting and could be not very well written, not very interesting, right? But so the story doesn't have to be real for us to enjoy it. But even the stories who are not very interesting or not very well written based on our modern standards, it's the stories that are like not interesting or sometimes even ridiculous and funny. Trying to figure out why the people for so many years said these stories, that story is interesting, and that story is not even fiction. You know what I mean? So we have a fictional story of gods and goddesses and prophets and blah blah blah, and we have a non-fictional story, and based on, it's in the objective world, not the narrative world, as some people mentioned. That's the story of the storytellers. It's in the objective world. It's not in the narrative world, right? And it tells us, it's like a mirror. It's like looking into a past and see a reflection of ourselves and trying to learn about humanity and our greatest fears and our greatest desires through the stories that we tell, and through the stories that survive, and through the stories that not only survive but dominate, right? Anyways, let's go to
The video.
the video. By the way, this is exactly why the reason why I'm interested in now learn. I used to think like Marvel and superheroes are so boring, right? But now that I see them as the pantheon of our time, right?
Yeah.
Now superheroes, modern superheroes, are more interesting to me, because those are now the stories that are dominating, and figuring out why, for example, just like looking at Batman, for example, right? why Batman from the 90s is different from the Batman today, why the Joker is more popular, why like the rich guy is the poor guy. Anyways, those again, what the stories.
Anti-heroes, the rise of anti-heroes and
Yes,
storytelling.
exactly. What does that tell about our society? Why is this story more popular today than those other stories? Anyways, but this is exactly why we look at these gods and goddesses, because these are not just stories. These are stories that tell us something about the people who lived back then. Anyways, so let's go. This is Brahma, and this is his daughter. And he's missing one head because Shiva cut it off. Hey, we actually know some of these stories already.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah, okay, no spoilers, no spoilers. Okay.
Wait, I think I'm going to keep an eye out for anything that would make good illustrated scripture comics for us.
Yes,
that's how I'm approaching this.
Yes,
guys.
yes,
So if you think that something would make good art or a good comic, let us know in the live chat.
Yes, we're doing blasphemous art. So for people who don't know, and guys, and if you want to get all our blasphemous art for free, link in the description. We email them to our newsletter subscribers, and we are going to look at this. And if you guys in the live chat also see something that you think like, oh, this could be a good blasphemous art idea, let us know, and we'll turn it into art. All right.
Is brought to you by Captivating History. In the beginning, there was only nothingness and the Brahman. The Brahman, formless and beyond description.
Wait.
Okay, so this is
that didn't make any sense. There was nothing and the Brahman.
Okay, here's the thing. This is confusing. Hold on just a second. This is confusing because there's Brahma and there's Brahman. Those are two different things, right? And I think this guy is making it confusing by putting a picture of Brahma next to Brahman. Brahman, yes. You see, this is not a good. This video is confusing because it's putting Brahma. Brahma is the god. Brahman is that whole thing. Like this is also in Buddhism or whatever. Oh,
it's like like energy.
It's like the foundation of the universe.
Yeah,
is the fabric of being. Is like what everything is made out of, right? I think. Am I describing it right, Katie? Katie in the live chat. But it gets even more confusing. This is Brahma, I think. Am I correct? And this is Brahman. Is like those you see those little stars, and like I think that's what they're trying to portray. But it gets even more confusing because Brahma is a creator god, and I don't think the fact that his name happens to be Brahma is just coincidental. That is Brahman and Brahma are so close.
No, there's probably like a root word.
I don't know. Is it red root word? Hold on, let me see in the live chat. Yeah, look, I was correct. Brahma is a creator.
No.
You're making it even more confusing. Brahmins is the third thing. So you have now three things. You have the Brahma, you have Brahman, and you have Brahmins. Don't bring Brahmins into the equation because it makes it even more confusing. There we go. Katie is telling.
Brahman is the god. Brahma is the god of creation. Brahman created Brahma. Brahman is
no, Katie. No. That's a modern.
Can we watch the video?
No. This is important. Hold on. I think Katie is like giving us the modern interpretation of the founding. Brahman is not a god. The modern Hindus, I think, try to make it into a god to sound more like the monotheists. Brahman is like the founding essence of the universe. And because modern Hindus want to be like, hey guys, Christians, because a lot of worldwide people are more comfortable with monotheism. So they were trying to, Hindus, in as a way to pass as a monotheistic religion, they went and made that founding thing in the universe. They're like, hey, that's actually the god. So come on, guys, we're also monotheists as well, right? I don't think it's originally was meant to be a god. That's just like the founding essence of the universe. And then so Brahma is the god creator. Yes, so this is Brahma. Brahman didn't create Brahma. Brahma and everything else was created out of Brahman. In fact, in Hinduism, the philosophy is that it's one philosophy in Hinduism is that everything is an illusion, everything is Brahman, and even the gods and goddesses are an illusion. Everything is a reflection of Brahman. And Brahma being a reflection of Brahman is no different than Vishnu and Shiva being a reflection of Brahman as well. Brahman is existence itself, basically. Yes, exactly. That's the part that I understand. Brahman is existence itself. Yes. Anyways, are you guys not impressed how much I know about this thing? I'm not even ex-Hindu. Yes, exactly. Brahman is highest reality. Is the true essence of the entire. Is the true reality. Okay.
Drew out of the nothingness and created beings, glorious immortals steeped in the power and lifeblood of eternity. From its conceptual self, the Brahman created all things, starting with Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu.
Brahman created all things. It's not. Again, that's a modern interpretation of it as if it's a creator. Brahman, it did not create things. Brahman is just the source of everything. It's just everything is just a reflection of Yeah, I don't think it was conscious. I don't think it's I don't know. Yeah, maybe it is conscious. I don't know.
Thus were formed.
So here we have like the Hindu. We're supposed to have. I know. By the way, Susie, we're gonna talk about the main three gods in Hinduism as the Hindu trinity, and some people are gonna accuse us of looking at it with
an Abrahamic mindset.
Abrahamic mindset. Yes. Abrahamic mindset. Yes. I don't care. Abrahamic mindset. My ass. We're gonna still refer to it as the Trinity within Hinduism.
It's just convenient.
So it's convenient. Yeah. Here's the two out of the three: Brahma and Vishnu, and we know one is missing.
Yes.
The coolest one is missing.
I like how Thomas Sheedy just showed up to say, "What?"
By the way, we know that
Oh boy.
early Vedic society in this valley, the main three gods were not these three.
Yeah.
We know that Indra and Agnes used to be more popular.
Agni.
But Agni became later they became less popular. Still, Agni is my favorite because he's like more relatable. He talks to humans. These idiots, they don't even like humans. They don't.
The sorry lot.
Oh, guys, Kali is not even. Guys, you got the people who are mentioning Kali. Kali is like not even a second tier god. He's like third, barely makes it to the third tier.
And
god.
She's like the avatar of an avatar.
Yes.
No, not an avatar, but like a Super Saiyan of. Yeah, like it's confusing.
Okay, hold on.
Vishnu. Thus were formed two of the three greatest gods. Though other immortals came after, these were the mightiest and most honored. Vishnu napped on the water, the first object created. The cool waves lulled him to sleep, rocking his greatness on their crests. His skin was blue. A shining egg appeared in the water, glowing as brightly as the sun. Brahma formed himself within the egg, growing and molding his form for 1,000 years. Eventually, Brahma burst from the egg. The two pieces fell apart, creating.
So Brahma is a reptile.
In the water.
He came from an egg.
Earth, respectively. Hidden inside those pieces were the land masses.
Wait, what happened to heaven and earth? So Brahma came out of an egg from the water and
formed for 1,000 years. Eventually, Brahma burst from the egg. The two pieces fell apart, creating heaven and earth, respectively.
Okay, so here's another the same issue with the Genesis story in the Bible. How did you have 1,000 years when you didn't even have heaven? So now the egg.
No, it was an egg in the water.
Egg in the water, and you had water, but you didn't have heaven and earth.
And so Vishnu was taking a nap on the edge of the water, which would be land. That's earth.
Yeah,
maybe
and
it's not.
I thought the egg came out of like Vishnu's navel or something, or I think that's a different version. Yeah. But anyways, so 1,000 years pass. How do you even measure 1,000 years without Earth? Like now we have, again, Genesis has the same problem
Oh,
with
snap.
days. You know, right? Genesis, like, oh, day 1, day 2, day 3, but then you didn't have the Earth and the Sun until I don't know what day was it. But they were. How do you measure days if you don't have an Earth and a Sun? Same problem here, right? Years. Okay, but let's continue.
Respectively. Hidden inside those pieces were the land masses. Brahma shaped them with his mighty hands, forming the continents from the water.
So here's an issue with this story. Every time I see a visualization of this story, Brahma already has 4 heads, right?
Yes.
However, we learn later the story behind how did he get his 4 heads, and I think that happened after this. So the visual representations of this event, the fact that he has 4 heads, well, he used to have 5 heads, and one of them was cut off.
This
We'll
is
get to
not
that soon.
chronologically accurate here.
It's not accurate. Yeah.
This
so
is
how
not
did
canon.
This is not canon. He's supposed to have 1 head at the beginning. He gets his 4 heads. The other 3.
For being a perv.
Yeah, he gets a. Yes, he gets extra heads for being a perv. I mean, don't blame him. Oh no, actually, do blame him. Oh my god.
Yeah, what the heck? Armin, pause.
I forgot the details of that story. I just realized.
Oh my god.
I was like, don't perv shame people, and then I realized who that person was. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Oh, here, Gajan is saying, Vishnu slept on the serpent of time. Yeah, that's another version of the story. People are like, oh, he was sleeping on the edge, on the waters. But then we see like, oh no, there was this serpent. Like he didn't mention the serpent. He was on a serpent, and
they said
Brahma. I thought Brahma came out of like Vishnu's, like Vishnu, like something came out of his navel, and then that thing, it was a lotus, and then it opened, and then Brahma was on it. Am I misremembering?
No,
this?
so they said that there was Brahman, and he created. There's nothingness, and there was Brahman, and he created Vishnu and Brahman. No, Brahma. Sorry.
Yeah.
And Vishnu was sleeping on the edge of this lake or edge of the waters. He was taking a nap, and his skin is blue. And then they said that Brahman was formed inside of an egg in the water, and he formed there for 1,000 years. So presumably, Brahman made that egg.
Brahman is not a dude. He's just a thing. I don't know why you. Okay, fine. Yes. All right. Okay. But yeah, Katie is saying there's multiple versions of the story. Yes. But he's not saying the most interesting ones. This story is like, oh, there was an egg. Vishnu was sleeping in the water, and there was a separate egg somewhere else that it just bursted out. It just bursted open, and I think the more interesting one was the one that he came out of the navel. That's more interesting. Maybe he will give you another version.
After he shaped the world, Brahma meditated. From his elevated...
Where is he meditating? There was no land masses. Okay, anyway.
No. The egg broke.
No, yeah, you're right.
Pieces, that was the land masses.
Yes, I'm sorry. Oh my god, Atheist on YouTube, you really think we don't know the Ganesh story? Amazing.
Meditated. From his elevated thoughts sprang 10 sons. These were the sages, the founts of wisdom to whom Brahma revealed his wisdom. Another god, Dharma, emerged from Brahma's mighty chest. Others tell another story. Lord Vishnu, the protector and preserver, formed for himself a Chaturbuj, a form with 4 arms. Prakriti, the feminine creative force, joined him in his effort.
Where did she come from?
Yeah.
Wait. So this is a different version. So it starts with Vishnu. He creates that thing with 4 arms. And then just out of nowhere, there's this feminine force.
She's like, let me help you. Well, she came out of Brahma. Brahman. Sorry.
Wait, apostate prophet is here.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, using eggs, a case for Stephen Mullen. Put him on the case. You're right.
Here's the thing. It's actually easy to explain everything in Hinduism, where they came from, because everything is a reflection of that fabric of the universe essence thing, which is Brahman, right? So the way to understand Brahman is like, if you look at a rope and you from far away you think it's a snake, and you get closer and you realize it's a rope, that's what you're supposed to think. So everything, me, you, these gods, like they're all below Brahman, right? And it's our illusion that makes them be formed in these manifests itself in these ways, right? Actually, there's multiple schools in Hinduism. There's like the dualists, and this is basically extreme Tawheed in Islam, right? In Hinduism, which is basically like just like the Sufis in Islam, who think there's a battle between the extreme Sufis and the more traditionalist Sufis and the traditionalists, which an extreme version of Tawheed in Islam says that it's not that the God is everything is a creation of God. The extreme versions of Sufism says, no, everything is not a creation of God. Everything is God.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is like, is not only that this is what Ibn Taymiyyah hated the most, right? It's not that there's only one God. There's only one anything, right? So that's what these Sufis would say. And so these Sufis' version of shirk was not to suggest that there's a partner to God. Their version of shirk was even more extreme. For them, their version of shirk was to suggest that if there's anything exists even other than God, there's no creation creator dualism, right? That's a myth. In their idea, like, no, everything is just God, right? So that is very similar to this. Again, this is not all Hinduism. This school of thought in Hinduism that suggests that the gods even are not creators. Even the God, all of these gods, me, you, everything is just Brahman. Everything is just Brahman. Even the people, even these Bhaktis who think like, oh my God, Vishnu, they're all wrong. There is no Shiva. There is no Vishnu. Even the gods themselves are just manifestations of Brahman, right? So it's very interesting. It's very interesting how mystic philosophies get to the same conclusions independently from each other. Like whether it is Jewish mysticism or Islamic mysticism or Christian mysticism or Hindu mysticism, you just like, even without meeting each other, they all end up in the same place for some reason. Yeah. I actually was thinking the same way when I was a teenager. I just grew out of it very fast. I thought I was so original. I was like, oh my God, I'm so wise. Look at me. And
everything's God, bro.
And then I realized, like, oh my, people have been discussing these things for thousands of years over and over again. I felt a lot less original. Anyways, let's continue.
Held a lotus flower and his
the lotus flower. I think this came out of his navel. Hold on, let's see.
Him in his effort. In his arms, he held a lotus flower and his mace, the weapon of justice. From the ocean's waves came Lakshmi, whom Lord Vishnu accepted as his
Wait, can we show these? I see boobs. I see bobs and.
Oh my God, yes.
I see bobs. Is this YouTube friendly?
I think if it's an ancient statue, it's okay.
I see nips.
Don't highlight it this much. You're drawing attention to it.
Oh, okay.
From the ocean's waves came Lakshmi, whom Lord Vishnu accepted as his consort. From his navel grew a lotus flower, and its blossom stretched across the ocean.
Yes, this is the second creation story. This is the one I'm more familiar with, okay? So forget that egg thingy. This is it. Vishnu was just sleeping on the ocean, and this lotus came out of his navel. This is the more famous one, actually.
Was he already holding the lotus in his hand when he had the one growing out of his navel? Or does the one that he holds represent the one that grew out of his belly button?
I think they're two separate things. I think the one that grows out of his navel is completely different.
Across the ocean. From the blossom emerged Brahma.
See, Brahma, the god Brahma, not Brahman, came out of Vishnu's navel. So Vishnu is kind of like Brahma's mom. He just gave birth basically Vishnu gave birth. He gave birth to Brahma out of his navel from a lotus. Cool.
Creator and friend to Vishnu throughout eternity. Thus began the world of the gods, the dawn of the first beginning. A short time after the creation, Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu chanced upon each other while walking in an empty plain.
We could do a blasphemous art between Vishnu and Brahma and some navel fetish kind of focused art. Let's do that. Add that to the list. Add it to the list now. I see some opportunities here.
There's
Wait,
something there.
Yeah. Wait, people are confused. Let me actually show them. Let
Oh
me
my god.
actually show them some images because this people are confused what's happening. So let me help them with an image or something so they're less confused. There we go. Just help them out.
Oh, this is the snake he was sleeping on.
Yeah. So this is like, I don't know why
Oh.
these people are not giving us some. Okay. Wait. How do I? This is. You guys see what's happening? Why does it not zoom in? Here. Okay, you guys. There we go. So you see, this is
But this is also chronologically incorrect because Brahma has 4 heads here.
yeah. How did he get his forehead? And this is what was it? This is Lakshmi, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is Lakshmi, who he accepted as his consort. What is the difference between that and a wife?
You're not married. You don't get the same privileges and honors as a wife. You get the honor and role of him having
So
sex
she's
with
not
her.
worthy of being a wife. She's a goddess, and she's not worthy of marriage.
Okay, I'm thinking of like European courts. I don't know like what it was like in other cultures, but I know that's like basically the king's personal prostitute.
Okay, so this is okay. So Dolly is saying who is who. Okay, here. This is Vishnu. Okay, this is Brahma, who you can see came from Vishnu's navel. This is the ocean we're talking about, and this is look. You see all these heads? These are all snakes. He's lying on the snake, and I think, if correct me if I'm wrong, unlikely though. These snakes are supposed to represent our desires, our urges.
Is it our
And
Kundalini energy?
I don't
I
know what
think
that is.
so.
No, okay. Here's the thing. Him lying on these snakes is supposed to represent, if I remember correctly, supposed to represent Vishnu being so in control of desires and urges and earthly stuff. Like he's like, I'm so cool. Like these snakes, they don't control me. I lie on them. You know what I mean? So you can see he's holding one lotus in one hand, and he has a mace. But this lotus that he's holding in his hand is different from the lotus that is coming out of his navel, which Brahma, the creator god, is from. Right. So imagine how high Vishnu is, that the creator god is just something that just popped out of his navel. Okay, that's how big Vishnu is, and that's his fidget spinner in his other
Oh,
hand.
I got consort wrong. I was confusing consort with concubine. So consort is actually married.
They're saying, okay, hold on. Let me actually bring something. I want to make sure I don't show you guys something you're not supposed to see. People are saying Lakshmi is the creator. Oh, safe for work. I need to be careful to not to show you too many bubs and jeans. All right. People are telling me in the live chat that Lakshmi is the god of here. Where somebody's saying this.
Yeah, well.
Yes, Lakshmi symbolizes wealth. We know Lakshmi symbolizes wealth, and I'm going to show you one of our blasphemous art that we did, just to show you guys how good our blasphemous art is, and the fact that we know that Lakshmi symbolizes wealth. Here, look at this. We did an art of Lakshmi. We did an art of Lakshmi, with the cryptocurrency Ethereum. She's holding it because she represents wealth. We wanted to, we to represent new currencies and blockchain. We chose Lakshmi as a god that celebrates this new sources of or measurements of wealth, right? So that's what we did, which is really cool, I think. Again, guys, if you want to get all our blasphemous art, link in the description. We have new blasphemous art every week. Check it out. All right, so let's go back to this image. Here's another interesting thing. Every time I see this image, Lakshmi is rubbing Vishnu's feet. I don't know why, but every time I see that, I don't know what that's supposed to symbolize.
It's like
And I
Krishna
didn't.
on Radha's feet. It's like about devotion.
Interesting.
Although the way that Krishna feels about Radha's feet seems like a lot special kind of devotion.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is why we made art about it.
Yes. Cool. All right, so let's go back to the story. Again, this is a more famous creation story than the egg one, right? Yes. Anyways, let's go back to
Well, it depends on which god of the so-called trilogy that any given sect holds as supreme lord.
I don't know how I feel about coming out of someone's navel. This is like
Oh my God.
it's so weird. I don't know. It is. Look, all of them comes out of the navel. Like you have the snakes, and yes. All right, let's continue.
Greetings, Lord Brahma.
Oh, okay. So this is very interesting. This is a story between Vishnu and Brahma. They meet each other. So this is pre-Shiva. Shiva, which is the third most important god, he's not part of the picture yet. Like he hasn't been created. He's not there. Right now we have the two major gods, and obviously all the major gods are men. All the female gods are secondary, not as important, but as it should be. But yeah, sorry. Vishnu and Brahma right now are the two main gods, and this is the story behind where Shiva came up from. Okay.
Greetings, Lord Brahma, said Lord Vishnu respectfully. Greetings, Lord Vishnu, Brahma responded. Where are you going over this barren plain? I go to look over my greatness, said Lord Vishnu proudly. In this world, my devotion takes first importance, and I go to listen to the prayers of my people.
Oh, big words.
I did not.
What?
I mean, he's saying that this is my domain, this is where I rule, to the guy whose belly button he came out of. Those are some big words.
Yes. He said everything. I made everything.
My devotion takes first importance.
Yeah, and like, I'm gonna go listen to people who are praying to me, I guess. I want to see. Yeah. Oh, Katie is giving us some information. Katie's saying this story between Vishnu and Brahma is from Shiva Purana, and another one of the 18 major Puranas, and a Shivite scripture. Yes. By the way, there's not that many. There's only one temple to Brahma, right? All the God-focused temples are either devoted to Shiva or Vishnu. Brahma gets one temple just because he cheated on his wife. We'll see. I think we'll get to that. Let's continue.
This reply did not please Lord Brahma.
Oh, Brahma is upset. Brahma is like, dude, you think you're so great? I'm better.
Many may pray to you, Lord Vishnu, he said, but they forgot who it was who gave them lips to pray.
Ooh, snap. He's the creator god, right? So he's like, dude, I made all of them. I gave them lips. I created everything. They should be praying to me. I made them.
When they honor you in prayer, they honor me more, since I gave them the ground on which to worship. Lord,
I mean, that's pretty stupid. That's a weird flex because he came out of his like, okay, fine, you made everything, but I made you.
Yeah, that's my whole
Like,
point.
Yeah, like you came out of my navel. Like, what are you talking about? All right. Oh wow, yeah. You made all these people who are praying to me, so they're praising you. Well, I made you, so so you saying anything is praise on me. Um. Oh yeah, Goddess Katie saying Brahma lost his importance around 7th century with the rise of Vishnavism and Shivaism and Buddhism. Yes, but there's a story like that's the real reason. But the story behind why he lost his importance is because he was waiting for his wife to come and do something, and his wife didn't
Well,
show
let's see if
up.
we get there.
Okay, let's see if they covered the story.
To worship. Lord Vishnu scowled, and the ground beneath him shook. If there be a greater power than I, then let him manifest.
Oh my God! Rap battle. Brahma versus Vishnu, rap battle of history. There needs to be a rap battle video on this.
Between the two gods appeared a blade.
Oh, so they started like, oh, I'm a bigger god, I'm a more powerful god, I'm
Oh,
more
snap.
important. And then
Little
all of a
did they
sudden,
know.
while they were fighting, just the lights came from the ground and the sky. Like this happened.
The two gods appeared a blazing pillar that stretched both into the sky and into the depths of the earth. Its light blinded them, and they raised their hands to ward off the glare. They craned their necks back until they touched the earth, yet they could not see the end of the pillar. Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu were filled with wonder. Who could be mightier than both the creator and the preserver of the world?
Oh
Right,
my
so
God.
Brahma is the creator god, Vishnu is the preserver god. So you can see there's something is missing from the equation, right? You have a creator god and you have a preserver god. What is missing?
But why did the creator god come from the preserver god? That's what confuses me.
You're asking too many questions. Just accept the story. Don't not think about it too much. No, but what is missing from? Okay, you have creation. You have
You want me to
preserving.
really answer, or
Huh?
you want
Yes.
me to actually answer? The destroyer.
Yes, you need a destroyer. You need a destroyer, and that is what's happening right now. Okay. And by the way, a lot of people think like being a destroyer god makes you evil, but no. In Hinduism, they teach that you need a destroyer god. There needs to be a balance in everything, and having a destroyer god is part of that equation. Being a destroyer god doesn't make you evil; actually, it makes you good. Yeah.
They decided to seek the end of the pillar. I shall change into a goose and seek the end of the pillar in eternity, said Lord
Well.
Brahma. He stretched out his arms, and they grew great white feathers, and his face narrowed to a goose's thin bill. I shall change into a boar and seek the end of the pillar in the earth, said Lord Vishnu. His blue skin changed to matted hair, and his nose grew long, sharp tusks. Lord Brahma
I mean,
the sky, and Lord Vishnu.
What?
boars can do some nasty things to the earth, but I feel like a mole would be better.
Maybe they didn't have moles in India at that time. I don't
Did
know.
they have moles in India? Guys, help me out.
And Lord Vishnu dove into the earth.
So one of them went up, the other one dug. Wait, which one is? Oh, Vishnu is going down, Brahma
Yes.
is going up to see where this thing ends.
Both seeking the end of the great pillar without a name. Lord Brahma beat his wings and soared past the treetops. He beat them again and rose above the hills. He beat them again and floated above the mountains. The pillar stretched higher still. He beat his wings even higher and soared among the heavens. He beat them again and rose among the stars. The pillar stretched higher still. Lord Brahma flew for ages, beyond time and eternity itself, until his wings ached and his feathers drooped with fatigue.
Okay, do we need to say that how is he fly? Your wings do not work in space, okay? You like, can we point out the obvious here? Like
You're missing the beauty of allegory.
Okay, fine. Okay. But we have a goose that is flying with his wings in space. How is he moving? What is he pushing back on with his wings to move up? There's no air.
Oh my God. It's
All right.
ridiculous.
Still, there was no end to the pillar. he returned to the empty plain. Lord Vishnu dug deep into the earth, past the roots of plants and trees. He dug further, snuffling his nose deeper, past the roots of rivers. The pillar stretched deeper. He dug deeper, past the feet of mountains. He dug deeper and deeper into the bottom of the earth itself. The pillar stretched farther still. Lord Vishnu dug until his tusks were dulled and his whiskers drooped with fatigue. Still, there was no end to the pillar. He returned to the empty plain. Lord Brahma, called Lord Vishnu, when he saw Lord Brahma land on the grasses. I have dug and cannot find the end of the pillar. It does not end in the earth. Ah, Lord Vishnu, returned Lord Brahma. I have flown and cannot find the end of the pillar. It does not end in the sky.
Is the whole point of the story is whatever this thing is greater than both of them, right?
Yeah.
This is like obviously a Shivaist propaganda. Right? This is anti-Brahma, yeah. But by the way, I think most people, but the Abrahamic mindset, they don't understand that, like in Islam and Christianity, just one thing that is great, and anything associated with that is just great because of its association with that one great thing, right? But in Hinduism and even in every other religion before Abrahamic, like Roman, Roman, Greek, Egyptian, Persian mythologies, you could be rooting, like you could be like, yeah, our religion is great, but this God, my God, is better. Like you could be part of the same religion, however, have a favorite God. You know what I mean? And you could be like, my God is like better than your God, and it's both of the gods that could be part of the same religion. And again, you're not claiming that the people who, it's not like, the reason why people find this hard to relate to is because within Abrahamic religions, somebody who's worshiping a different god than you is a heretic or a blasphemer or whatever.
A pagan.
A pagan or whatever. No, but within these other religions, you could still be a devotee to the gods or goddesses of the same religion that someone else is, and one person could have a devotion to a god different than you, right?
Yeah,
so,
it's called henotheism, right?
I don't know if that's what it's called.
The henotheism is the worship of a single overarching god while not denying the existence or possible existence of other lower deities.
Oh, yes. God is saying in Shivanavite tradition, Shiva prays to Vishnu for protection. In Shivite tradition, Vishnu prays to Shiva. So it's so
is this kind of some sort of mafia racket? That kind of protection? No.
Yeah, no, but it's interesting because it's right now in this era, or like for a while, it's been either Shiva or Vishnu. Like Brahma is like, yeah, who cares about Brahma, right? So we mentioned already that Igna and Agni, they already have been like forgotten, other than sometimes when people just light a fire, which represents Agni in Diwali and stuff like that. I don't think if many Hindus even know that the fire is supposed to represent Agni, right? But even among these modern, more recent popular gods, only 2 of the 3. Hey, Brahma is like the Holy Spirit of the Trinity that nobody cares about in Christianity. Right? So yeah, like Vishnu is like the father.
People care about the Holy Spirit. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, they don't. Just to feel like, who cares? Like people either care about like God. I mean, yeah, some people like, there are a very fringe group of people who I guess like, the Holy Spirit and they speak in tongues and blah blah blah. But most Christians either care about like God the Father that they pray to, or Jesus, right? So I think like when it comes to popularity, I think Shiva is like Jesus, Vishnu is like Yahweh, and Brahma is like the Holy Spirit. Like not in any. I
still can't get over you saying that no one cares about the Holy Spirit. This is insane to me.
Okay, you were like a crazy Catholic.
I wasn't even.
I know, but you were exposed to people that really took Christianity seriously. But most average Christians, how often do they care about the Holy Spirit? They don't.
It's one of the methods through which everything happens.
Yeah, it's part of the tradition, and everyone. Yeah, so is Brahma. Brahma is like the Yeah, exactly. For example, in Hinduism, Brahma created freaking everything. He's a creator god. So methodologically, he's very important. But in practice, nobody like that. Not that many people give a crap about him, right? Same thing with Christianity. Yes, the Holy Spirit is like very important. But in practice, not that many people care about him.
Ghost Bunny saying, "Who doesn't care about the Holy Ghost?" I feel offended now. Same
I
Ghost Bunny.
I think I'm correct. You guys are wrong. Vishnu was only a minor god in the Vedas. Yeah, I know, but we're talking about recent times. Shiva is what? An amalgamation,
Amalgamation of several
yeah, of
Vedic and
several Vedic.
native Indian and Indus Valley deities like Rudra and Pashupati, etc.
Yes, yes, but you're talking about really old times. Again, Katie is talking about Indus Valley civilization time. We're talking about, and also, guys, when we say about more recent versions of Hinduism, we're still talking about really, really old. Just modern in the concept in context of Hinduism, modern is like ancient to other religions, right? Anyways, let's continue though.
The pillars shook, and the earth.
Oh, this is why Ghost Bunny is offended. Once upon a time, Armin knighted me as the Holy Ghost of AR. So I'm just okay. Well, in AR tradition, our Holy Ghost is very important. Okay, we have a different tradition. We're not like the Christians. Okay, let's continue.
It shook again, and the sky shuddered. It shook a third time, and a shining figure stepped from its depths. His skin was marred with basma,
Shiva
and his head was.
Wait, marred with basma? What the hell is that?
Okay, okay, but Shiva enters the game.
Skin was marred with basma, and his head was matted and curly. A third eye, called Triambakam, burned in his forehead. A snake hissed at his throat. He lowered his trident, the Trasul. Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu bowed in acknowledgement.
Oh
wow, they both bowed to him. By the way, this snake, I think, is supposed to be cold to keep healing a poison. Wait a minute. This in the order of the stories don't make any sense, because I think Shiva at some point swallowed like this poisonous thing to save everybody, gods and demons as a whole, and then his throat started burning so much that this snake is supposed to be around his neck so that he never dies from that whole poison thing. So how come he already has a snake around his neck from the beginning? I don't know. Okay, let's continue.
Here, truly, was a power as great, if not greater, than their own. Thus was born Lord Shiva, the Destroyer, Lord of Demons. He made his home in Varanasi.
Yeah, also, here's an interesting thing. Shiva like, chills with demons a lot. He's not a bad god, but he hangs with demons a lot. Who does that remind you of?
Hades?
Mm-mm. Demons are bad in Hinduism. Shiva is not bad in Hinduism. Shiva hangs out with demons a lot.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. Yes, that's, I don't know if why, but that always reminds me of Jesus hanging out with sinners.
And married Parvati, from whom.
Oh, there it goes. That's his wife. Hold on.
Well, one of them.
Okay, hold on.
His home in Varanasi and married Parvati, from whom he was rarely separated. But that is a story for another page. After the creation, Brahma looked over the world and was pleased.
Yes.
He saw the water and the.
He saw that it was good. He looked at the world and he saw that it was good. Abrahamic mindset.
Land, the mountains and hills. He saw the sun, Aditya, whose rays blessed the earth. He saw the sages sprung from his thought. But none of these beings, as yet, had been born to a mother and father. So, Lord Brahma drew from his own body a form, half male and half female. The male was called Swayambhu Manu, and the female Shatarupa. We know her better by another name.
Wait, did he just create a... Sorry, I was looking at the live chat. Did he just create a man and a woman for the first time?
Like a hermaphrodite.
Wait, so there was no father and mother. Who are the people who were praying to Vishnu then? If these people did not exist, again.
You're asking
Okay.
too many questions because I was
So,
wondering the same
Lord
thing.
Brahma drew from his own body a form, half male and half female.
Half male and half female.
The male was called Swayambhu Manu, and the female Shatarupa.
I don't think it's a hermaphrodite because it's like male and half female, not like male and female at the same time. I don't
We
know.
know her better by another name, Saraswati. Saraswati's dark hair stretched to her waist, and her face was pure and open. In her hands, she held a veena by which to bless the universe with music and wisdom. Hansa, the swan, bore her on his back. When he saw the beauty of Saraswati,
Oh my God, Sean is saying bisexual. You don't, guys. How is it that
Don't
we still
even-
have people that don't understand the difference between sexuality and gender? God damn it, man. I need to pee. I'll be right back. You can entertain our
I need to
idea.
pee too.
Me first.
So Gation American is saying Asuras, meaning demons, aren't evil. They represent nature that must be killed to make civilization. Oh, so that makes sense why Shiva would be hanging out with them. Okay, I see. What else? Shiva is really badass. The only Hindu god I like. You know, I'm starting to lean in that direction. I think if I had to pick one so far, it'd be Shiva. Oh, and Gation American has also answered my question of Basma is the ash from dead people. Okay, so that would make sense because he's the destroyer. Where was he chilling before he came a pillar of light? Or was that like his birth? Did he come from somewhere? Did he teleport? Susie takeover? True.
Okay, go.
Okay.
All right. So the best part of the story is coming soon. The craziest part of the story is coming soon. Thomas is saying very interesting video. Love the commentary. Oh, thank you, Thomas. Guys, the craziest part of the story is the part where, you know how a lot of people are, when it comes to Islam, there's something in Islam that it's a go-to low-hanging fruit of what Muhammad did that everybody mentions when it comes to, you know, how Muhammad and Aisha, that's the easiest, most, easy jab at Islam, because it basically it gets to something that people get really easily disgusted by very fast, very easy, low-hanging fruit, right, for Islam, which I mean, justifiably so, right? It's worse with Hinduism, and you will see if this video covers it. You'll see when you get there, you'll see that it's worse with Hinduism. Okay, there we go. Cool. All right, let's continue. Yeah, we're getting to the part of the story that basically I found to be the craziest part of the craziest part of Hinduism, and I'll tell you why. Why I think this is like all the things. Well, we have reviewed Hinduism many times on this channel, and we have not yet got to this story that I think we're about to head based on what I'm seeing right now. And if we get there, and I think like you're about to see the most obviously vile part of Hinduism that Islam can is like, and in this aspect, Islam cannot compete with. Right? We'll see.
Saraswati, Lord Brahma's soul moved within him. He longed for her as his wife.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's go back. Let's see what just happened. Okay, so Lord Brahma made her.
Hansa, the swan, bore her on his back.
Wait.
When he saw the beauty of Saraswati, Lord Brahma's soul moved within him.
So this is How do you say it?
Saraswati.
Saraswati. I could never say that. Saraswati. Okay. Lord Brahma made her, and then he saw her, and he was like attracted to her. Okay.
He longed for her as his wife, but Saraswati, drawn from his own body, was like his daughter. One-
Yeah.
Yeah. So Saraswati
Yeah.
was. And again, this is not we saying it. That the reason why she didn't want Brahma. We're not saying like, oh, you came out of him, so you're the daughter, so he shouldn't want you. This is what she like says, like, dude, you're my dad. Stop being a perv, okay?
No thanks. No thank you.
No thanks. Like, this is the fact that this was her reasoning. This is part of Hinduism. Like, we're not even making this allegation. Like, this is Hinduism saying itself, right?
Thomas Street, this PBS Kids special is getting very lit.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, here. Exactly, okay? But wait, how old was she? Oh, never mind. She's not even 1 day old. But let's continue.
Body was like his daughter. One day, she approached Lord Brahma to pay her respects. He gazed at her with intense desire.
And like she came like, hey, God, you're God, I guess. I'm gonna come pray to you. And he's like,
Hey there.
hey there. Oh, well, hello there.
Or just be like, hello, Father. I'm honoring you like good daughters should.
Yeah. And like, can you honor me in some other ways other than praying to me? Shiva is saying, wow, we got some Woody Allen vibes here. Katie is saying Brahma made her and considered her to be his daughter. Yes, so he even considered her to be his daughter, but then he got attracted to her. This story is narrated in the 3rd chapter, if I remember correctly, of the what Purana? Matsya Purana. Okay. Yeah. So this is now it's about to, okay, so you thought this was creepy. Now it's about to get even this part of the story, if they tell it right, this is the stuff of nightmares. Okay.
Yeah.
So this goes from creepy to horror.
A straight up nightmare.
This is like I'm so surprised they haven't made a horror movie out of this. Like I don't usually get creeped out.
You know why?
Why?
Because it would hurt my religious sentiments.
No, but this needs to
portrayed
be
it like that.
I know. No, but okay, so here's the thing. What you're about to hear, I've seen so many horror movies, I've become numb to it. But when I heard the story, it wasn't even meant to creep me out, but it creeped me out. Okay? Well, here. Like, oh yeah, like atheists on YouTube is saying, Hindus mock Muslims for marrying cousins when you tell them about this Abrahamic myth. Yeah, so it's very interesting because the Hindus do mock Muslims for marrying cousins, and yes,
I mean, understandably.
yeah, but this is their god.
Yeah.
Like, this is not even, you're like, oh my God, Muhammad. Okay, Muhammad. So here's so for let's say Muhammad married Aisha at a very young age. So some people say, like, some Muslims try to defend it, like, oh, that was that time, and people are like, dude, your prophet is supposed to be the role model for all Muslims for all time. But in Hinduism, you don't even have your prophet doing something like this. You don't even have prophets, to be fair.
Yeah.
You have your God. Your creator God was turned on by his own daughter. Okay, but let's continue. Now it's about to get like really, really creepy. Okay,
hold on to your horses.
Okay, let's go back. So he saw his daughter. His daughter is like, I'm here to pay respects, and the God was like getting turned on. Does he have like 4 penises as well, or just 4 heads?
Whoa. You're getting ahead of yourself here.
All right, hold on. Okay.
He gazed at her with intense desire. When she circled behind him, he could see her no longer. So great was his longing that a second head sprouted from behind him.
You indeed. Okay? He says so great was his longing. You mean he was so horny that he could not bear not seeing her out of his sight? So instead of like here, this is what you could have done.
Oh
Okay,
no!
so
Oh
Susie, look
no!
at this.
Oh no! Oh
So
no! Oh
she's
no!
so she's in her sight, and she moves out of her sight,
Mhm.
and instead of going like this to keep looking at her, a head grows, a second head grows so that she doesn't move out of her sight, so he could keep seeing her.
I just
And
keep on imagining, like, seeing these eyes slowly grow out of someone's hairline,
yeah.
like the whole face emerge, like from
And
the
then
back
she
of their head.
sees it, and she creeps out, so she keeps moving because she was looking at this god, and she like moves away, and a head grows out, and the second head is now looking at her as well, so she's like, okay, I'm gonna keep moving, and then another head grows from his back, and she's like, okay, this is getting really creepy, and then she keeps on moving, and then the fourth head grows. This is like this is the stuff. This is nightmare fuel. This is nightmare fuel. This is, I don't like perv shaming people, but this is perfect
No,
behavior.
I think that's
This is
okay.
yeah. I am. I'm like a straight man, and I can relate to being creeped out by somebody. Like, this is like creepy. Like, I've never been able to relate to women being creeped out by men wanting them too much. This is the first time I could be like, oh wait, this is I see I finally get a taste of that feeling. This is really creepy behavior. Okay.
His first one, the better to gaze on Saraswati and her beauty. Saraswati passed to Lord Brahma's left, and a third head appeared to gaze at her still. When she passed to his right, yet another, a fourth head, sprouted from his shoulders so she could not escape his sight. Attention troubled Saraswati.
Yeah.
You think? Oh, the attention troubles Saraswati. No, I wonder why. there are heads growing out of this man's shoulders so that she could never escape his gaze.
To gain a moment's peace from Brahma's desire, she jumped over his head.
She's like, oh, maybe if I go above him, then these are 4 directions. Maybe if I go above him, there's no head there. But like what happened?
A fifth head sprouted from Brahma's shoulders so that Saraswati could find no rest from his interest.
No rest.
So creepy.
No rest. There was a head that was facing upwards. So guys, every time you see this god, every time you see Brahma, you see 4 heads, okay? You'll soon realize why there's a 5th head missing, okay? But there used to be 5 heads. 1 head going upwards so that when Saraswati jumps above him, he could still see her even when she's like jumping above his head. That's how creepy this man was. Like, there's no way I will see you wherever you go. I will watch you see. There's no hiding
I'll be
from my
watching.
gaze. I'll be. Don't sing. You're gonna get a copyright strike. Oh my god, this is like the creep in chief. Instead of a creator god, you have to call him the perv god, the pervious of all gods.
There are some things that we can shame people for, and I think this is one of them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And we're gonna see why the 5th head was missing. Okay.
Lord Shiva witnessed the performance and was displeased.
Performance?
So Shiva is like, dude,
borderline assault.
Like, may I remind you again that he is looking at his own daughter. Like, he has this Brahma, one of the main 3 gods in Hinduism, is a god that grew out 5 heads. Well, grew out 4 extra heads, so that his horniness for his own daughter will always be satisfied, so that his daughter could never hide from where he is, from his gaze. He wanted to watch it. He was so horny for his own daughter that he has 5 heads, so there's no place that his daughter could be that he could not see. And even, guys, if you think that we think this is bad, Shiva agrees with us, okay? It's like we're not even criticizing.
He was displeased.
Displeased. Like, guys, this is not even us attacking a Hindu god. Hinduism agrees with us itself on how bad Hindu gods are, because Shiva, like Hinduism attacks Hinduism. Okay. By the way, somebody file an FIR against Shiva because this is blasphemy against Brahma. Okay. Yes. Where's the?
No, it's
where's
assault. It's dismemberment. I think
Well,
hurting
we get-
religious sentiments is the
Yeah,
last.
this is like,
one of
where's
these
the
huge
Hindu?
worries.
Where's the Hindu IT cell on Twitter? Somebody tell them about Shiva. Does Shiva have a Twitter account? We need to suspend Twitter.
Can
Shiva's
someone
Twitter
make
account.
parody
This is
Twitter accounts of the
blasphemy.
gods?
We need to make an art where Hindu IT cell is suspending Shiva's Twitter account because he's like blaspheming against Brahma.
Well,
okay?
the only problem is that like not many people care about Brahma that much.
Still, he's a god and he's being blasphemed
Okay.
against. Okay.
It is not lawful to pursue your daughter, Lord.
Ah! Oh, guys, like, we're not making this stuff up. We're not saying, oh, he was like his daughter. No, this is Hindu scripture.
By their
Shiva,
own standards.
but this is by Hindu standards within Hindu
God,
text.
stop that! Stop it!
Shiva is telling Brahma, like, dude, it is not lawful to pursue your own daughter. Okay? Again, this is Hindu text. Okay? This is scripture. This is the Puranas, guys. This is this is Hinduism being destroyed by its own scripture. Oh my God, this is amazing. Hold on.
It is not lawful to pursue your daughter, Lord Brahma, he said. 4 of Brahma's heads praised Shiva in agreement. The 5th head hissed and reviled Shiva for his interference.
Okay, so 4 of his heads were like,
Oh,
I know. 4 of Brahma's heads were like, okay, I guess we can. Like, you're right. But the other head, this is how creepy. This is why I'm telling you, this is a horror. The other head of the Brahma's head, yeah, he didn't even say like, no, I can do what I want. I'm a god. He hissed that. Like, he was like, like, what the hell? Like, so
I'm not like you.
So 4 of the heads are like, okay, I guess you're right. She's my daughter. I shouldn't be so horny with my own daughter.
Oh no!
But the other head didn't even say no. It hissed at Shiva. This is like, again, this is a horror movie. This should become a horror movie. Hey, we need to do this comic. This is a comic strip. We need to make a comic strip.
Oh yeah, I
out
think
of
we
this.
already have this written down as one we're gonna do.
Okay. We're gonna turn this into a comic strip. Guys, again, if you want to see all our blasphemous art, the comic strip of this, subscribe to our newsletter. You will receive it in our emails once we make a comic strip out of the story.
Lord Shiva drew his sword. A head that speaks in such a way shall not speak at all. And
Yes.
so Brahma lost his 5th head that spoke evilly to Lord Shiva.
He cut off his head. He cut off his 5th head. And that's why Brahma has 4 heads instead of 5. Right?
So
One of his
creepy.
heads was cut off. The creator's god 5th head was cut off by the destroyer god's sword. Okay? We need to make, that's amazing. That's fantastic. Thank you, Shiva. Cut his head off. Okay? But again, somebody tell Hindu IT cell. I mean, if you guys are against, hate us for making, like, people, a lot of Hindu people hate us for making glorious, beautiful art of their gods and goddesses, right? Shiva cut off the head of one of your gods. Which one is worse? Our beautiful imagery of your gods? And people, by the way, a lot of people say, like, we're mocking Hindu gods and goddesses. Have you seen our art? How is any of our art mockery? It's a celebration of your gods and goddesses, right? Whatever we did to your gods and goddesses, if you're offended by that, how come you're not offended by Shiva? Is dismemberment not worse than beautiful art? Like,
Beheading.
is that not a... is this not a greater offense at your god than what we're doing? No, it's okay. Shannon is like trident, not sword. He had a sword and a trident. He's holding, like, he has a sword as well. He cut off the head. You're saying trident, not a sword. How could he behead him with a trident? He had a sword. He beheaded him with a sword, not a trident.
Eventually,
Oh wait, San Miguel said, "I wouldn't want many of my heads." Well, San Miguel, you say that as a person with one head.
Uh,
But let's continue. Also, you're not attracted to your own daughter, so that's that. You have that going for you.
I like that about him.
Yes, me too.
eventually, Brahma and Saraswati married.
They married. They married eventually.
They're just not going to talk about like
Brahma
happened?
married eventually. So Shiva was like, "Hey, it's not okay for you to be lusting over your own daughter." And 4 of the heads agreed. 1 of the head disagreed and hissed. Shiva beheaded that head that disagreed. And the 4 heads that agreed with Shiva at some point that, yes, I should not want my own daughter. Eventually, he married his own daughter.
Even though Shiva just said it was unlawful.
And the four remaining heads that agreed with Shiva that were like, yes, it's lawful, eventually married his daughter. Amazing. Goddess Katie saying they married and gave birth to the first Manu, who is the
Progenitor of all
progenitor of all. I don't know what that means.
I think she meant to say man.
Oh, Manu. Oh, man who? Okay. Oh wait, so this is like the Adam and Eve. Wait, never mind. We'll see. Maybe they cover it here.
And have lived together since. Shatarupa married Swayambhu Manu and produced the first children.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so maybe give us some time, Katie. We'll get there. Okay, so Brahma and Saraswati married, and what? You're confused? Here.
Because no, don't go back.
So Brahma married
Saraswati. Says all of who was married.
Okay, let's continue.
Married and have lived together since. Shatarupa married Swayambhu Manu.
Okay, so Shatarupa married Swayambhu Manu.
Who's Shatarupa?
That is the half man, half woman that we know as Saraswati.
Oh.
So is this 3 entities in one, or is the union of Saraswati and Swayambhu Manu, the union of that is Saraswati, and that union married Brahma?
I'm confused.
And also, how do you marry the half of yourself?
Yeah, I'm confused. I get this part. Brahma married his daughter. Hold on, let me see how did this other person came into it.
Brahma and Saraswati married and have lived together since. Shatarupa married Swayambhu Manu.
Those are the 2 halves of Saraswati.
Oh my god, I don't know. Hold on. Oh yes. Are these the 2 halves of Saraswati?
Because Saraswati is half man, half woman. They each have their own name, but we are commonly known as Saraswati.
So she married herself?
That's what I was asking.
Oh, Katie is saying you're rightfully confused. Maybe the answer is to be confused. Maybe if you're not confused, that's when you're doing.
And then just like pretend that it's some really deep thing that's beyond our comprehension. When really it doesn't make sense because it wasn't explained very well.
Oh, Katie's saying the scripture is inconsistent even in the same chapter. Okay. So you're supposed. So if you're confused, you are correct. All right.
Thus began the cycle of fathers and mothers from the first man and woman. Shiva tests Parvati. In the Himalayas,
love it.
All right, so that story ended. That was what I was referring to as the most vile part of Hinduism, okay?
Well,
the most vile, this is
story. I think the most vile part of Hinduism is the caste system.
No, yeah, I'm talking about mythology. The stories. Not the laws, okay? So like for example, the caste system, if you want to compare stuff to like other religions or like Islam, you could say the caste system, Sharia law, those are you could compare the laws and regulations and standards of living with each other and values. But if you compare the stories, the mythology and then if you want to compare Muhammad's story with the gods of Hinduism, this is like comparable, arguably worse. Yes.
Began the cycle of fathers and mothers
So let's
from
go
the
to the next
first
story.
man.
I right now I'm on team. I can see why Shiva has more followers, and like right now I'm on team Shiva. Like he seems to be cool.
Man and woman. Shiva tests
Shiva. Okay, let's get this story. This must be a better story.
Don't you
Shiva-
love when people just test their spouses?
Oh yeah, right.
Don't you just
ruined
love it?
You just ruined it. Yes. Okay. I was hoping that this would be a better story. We haven't even started and you made it horrible.
Parvati.
By the way, if you want to go get some snack or something, I know we were going long, so you could get some snacks if you want.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
In the Himalayas, there lived a great king. He and his wife, Meena Devi, served Lord Shiva and offered him many respects. But they were unfulfilled. They wished for one thing and one thing only, for a daughter to grow and become the wife of Shiva.
Oh my God.
Oh, that our family could be worthy of this honor.
What a horrible parent. Imagine like you're not even born yet and your parents have already determined what the purpose
Your
of
existence is to be groomed for this god.
Yeah, like you think your parents are bad because they wanted you to be a lawyer or an engineer or a doctor. These parents, their daughter is not even born yet. They're determined that they want you to be Shiva's wife and devoted to Shiva.
And that's what would make them fulfilled.
Yes. They oh my God, horrible parents. They're trying to get fulfillment out of deciding what the life of their children is going to be about. Worst kind of parenting.
The king.
All right, let's go back. Models of great horrible parenting.
This honor, cried Himayantha, the king. I'm a ruler, yet I am poor as the poorest peasant without this gift. Then let us perform a tapasya, answered Meena Devi. It will please Gaura Devi, the wife of Shiva. Perhaps she will be reborn as our daughter.
Oh, wait. So Shiva already has a wife, and they're like, maybe if we have a daughter,
She will be the avatar of his wife.
Shiva's wife could
That don't
die.
make no sense.
No, they want Shiva's wife to die and be reborn as their daughter. That's what they want.
No, I thought it was as an avatar.
No, they want her to die and be reborn as her daughter.
Oh my God.
King Himayantha agreed. Meena Devi began her tapasya. The sun rose and fell, and still she meditated. The shadows chased themselves across her face, and still she meditated. No food crossed her lips, and no water wet her tongue. Finally, after 3 days, Gaura Devi heard the meditation of Meena Devi. I am pleased by your devotion, said Gaura Devi. What do you ask of me? Great goddess.
This is Shiva's wife, right? Yes.
Mhm.
So you're like, oh my God, you're praying to me so much. Okay, what do you want?
Said Meena Devi, bowing herself to the ground. Himayantha is a great ruler among men, and I am his wife, but our wealth is nothing without a blessing. We wish only to have you as our daughter and raise you to be the wife of Shiva. The request pleased Gaura Devi. I will be reborn as your daughter. Lord Shiva will grieve, but...
See? Reborn as your daughter. Lord Shiva will grieve. So she's like, okay, I'm going to die now, and I'm going to be reborn as your daughter. And Shiva is going to grieve. So it's not like an avatar that I'm creating. Like, it's not one of those situations like, oh, I'm in a different mood. Let me make an avatar of me from where I'm in this mood. Like, not one of those situations. It's like, no, I'm going to die. I'm going to be born as your daughter. And Shiva's going to be like, what happened to my wife?
You will find me again. Gaura Devi leaped into a fire. Her form as Gaura Devi perished in the flames.
She killed herself in a fire so she could be reborn. She set herself on fire. Is this where the whole, what's that practice of burning wives?
Sati.
Sati. Is that where the Sati practice comes from? From this
I think
lady?
that's part of it.
And Shiva lamented her loss.
Look at this. This is so stupid. Shiva's like, my wife just burned herself. Like, yeah, that's crazy. Like, did you not ask? This is like horrible thing to do to your loved ones.
Oh.
Meena Devi conceived and bore a daughter.
Okay.
She named her Parvati. Her first word was Shiva.
Oh my God. So she's the baby and she's already in love with Shiva. Kind of creepy.
And by this, her parents knew that Gora Devi had kept her promise. Parvati grew.
So this is Parvati is basically Gora Devi in baby form right now. She's reborn Gora Devi, which was Shiva's wife, who Shiva loved, is now reborn as Parvati.
Now reincarnated.
Yeah.
Fairer and wiser every day, until she was finally of the age to seek Shiva. After Gora Devi perished in the flames, Lord Shiva meditated for many years to mourn her loss.
Aww.
He meditated so deeply that he neither heard sound nor saw sights without the depth of his mourning.
What a betrayal! Somebody loves you and you're like living together and you just go burn your. You know this is what this is gonna do to your love, and you're gonna just go make their heart break for thousands of years. Horrible way.
No, to go please some random royal family.
Yeah, you take your husband who loves you and you love him, and you are just like torturing him because this random king and queen are like, we just prayed to you and we want.
Why did she kill herself? Why did she self-immolate? What did I do wrong? What could I have done differently? What did I not notice the signs?
Yeah, but what is it? Why does the desire of this random royalty couple matter to you? Even like, oh my God, you prayed to me so much. I guess I'm gonna torture my husband and be born as your daughter.
Oh, poor Shiva.
Yeah, Team Shiva. We're on Team Shiva here.
When the time came for Parvati to wed Shiva, he could neither see nor hear her. The king consulted with Narada, a wise.
Okay, so Shiva is like, hey, here's your wife. She's back, and
he's still mourning so deeply he's lost his senses.
Yeah, and he's like, who's this? I don't care. I want my own wife back. I don't know. I don't care about it. And now the king and queen are like, no, this is your wife. So they're like, no, get this away from me. So, and now they ask this other person.
Consulted with Narada.
So this Naradi, or whatever this person is, they're like, the king and queen are like, hey, how could we get Shiva to realize that this is his wife?
A wise sage. What is to be done? King Himayantha asked. Our daughter must wed Lord Shiva, but his mind wanders in other paths.
Yeah, because you
because of your stupid plan.
You know, if I was Shiva, I would be. I don't know what to say, and without YouTube striking us down, I would do nasty things to these two. Like, I'm a god, and you're just royalty. I could do whatever I want. I would be like, you guys took my wife away from me.
Lord Shiva is deep in meditation, answered Narada. But the prayers of worship may still reach his ears. Send Parvati to pray at his shrine, and perhaps he will hear her voice if her devotion is pure. Himayantha was pleased with this counsel. And said,
really? You needed a sage to tell you the way to contact a god is to go to his temple and pray to him? You needed a sage to tell you that that's how you communicate with gods?
Parvati to the shrine of Lord Shiva. When Parvati's eyes fell on Lord Shiva deep in his meditation, her heart danced within her, and she determined to offer reverence to none but him. She performed tapasya in his honor and offered him worship by every means within her power. Her devotions did not cease with the night.
You know what you should do to get his attention?
Oh no.
Start playing with the Shiva Lingam.
I don't think we got to that story yet.
I don't think we're gonna get that. Would be a story, I think, for another day. But I think Shiva. No, I don't care how deep in meditation Shiva is. Just stop licking a Shiva Lingam just gently, especially on the tip of the Shiva Lingam. Just start doing circles on the very tip of the Shiva Lingam. I think Shiva will be like.
I think that would get his attention.
I think that would get his attention.
But continued through till the dawn. She prayed until her voice croaked and her eyes drooped with fatigue. Deep in his meditation, Lord Shiva heard her prayers. This truly is a pure woman, he thought, who prays and offers worship to me without ceasing. Perhaps I shall take her as my wife. But first, Lord Shiva sought to test Parvati, for perhaps she loved something better than he. He dressed in robes of gold silk and wore the face of a rich Brahmin. Coming to the shrine where Parvati continued to pray, he feigned oblation to Shiva before turning to her. Would you waste your devotions at a shrine of no consequence? Parvati's eyes flashed, but she did not stop her worship. Lord Shiva hid his smile and tried again. Would you wish to live without wealth, with only the ashes as your comfort? Parvati turned her back to him and continued to pray, but her hands shook with anger. Lord Shiva was pleased, but tested her a third time. It would be a pity for a beautiful rich girl to marry a poor beggar, though he be a god. Parvati spun around.
How is Shiva a beggar? This makes no sense.
I will marry none but Shiva. I am he.
Oh my god. This is such
Do you know the song 21 Questions by 50 Cent featuring Nate Dogg?
No.
It's like this song about like, if I wasn't rich, would you still? It reminds me of that. Like, it's all these questions, like testing this girl. Like, if I flipped burgers at Burger King, like, would you be ashamed to say that you're feeling me? You know, like, if I wasn't this huge rapper, like, you know, if I wasn't a god, like, would you still be into me? He's saying like, but I mean, technically, he is kind of like a beggar. He's the god of destruction. He's covered in cremation ashes. His hair is dreadlocked because he doesn't care for himself.
Right. Okay.
But cast away his disguise, revealing his true nature. Hands.
Wait.
True nature. Parvati clapped her hands for joy and fell at his feet. Lord Shiva raised her gently. You have proven your devotion. I will take you as my bride. Himayantha and Meena Devi were overjoyed by Parvati's marriage
I hate
and
them.
blessed the goddess
I hate those royalty.
for keeping her promise to them. And so, Lord Shiva and his consort Parvati were married.
Okay, that was it. I think somebody needs to tell Shiva what those royalty did so that he could punish them accordingly. I don't think justice was served. Like, I don't think Shiva knows. Somebody go to Hindu followers of Atheist Republic. I ask you to show up at Shiva, the Shiva temple, and let Shiva know that his wife was taken from him by these couple, and find them wherever. Wait, what happens to people? Find wherever these royalty were reincarnated to, right? Find them and get revenge.
No.
Yes.
Armin, that's a stupid thing to say.
Why?
Because don't incite people to do shit.
No, but come on. We're not being serious. All right. Anything we need from? Oh yeah, there we go.
Katie's saying there's another version of the story. Shiva was ignoring Parvati, so Indra sent Kama, the Hindu Cupid god, who shot an arrow towards Shiva, and Shiva opened his third eye and killed Kama.
Yes.
Dang!
Yeah. No. I can actually the more accurate.
Like, I've got a little bit of love for you, and he's like,
No. So here's the thing. This whole Cupid version, like, so there was it's interesting. Hinduism has like a love arrow thing, just like Cupid, right? But at first, actually, in this very interesting story, Shiva, for a while, it worked, right? So Shiva was ignoring Parvati, and then this guy, Kama, comes and hits Shiva with the love arrow, and Shiva falls in love with Parvati for a while, right? And then he snaps out of it after a while, and then he uses his laser eye, his third eye, completely destroys, turns Kama, the Cupid version of Hinduism, into ashes. That's interesting too. Yeah. Imagine Cupid burning
why
alive.
did his wife do this in the first place? What did she gain? Did I miss something, or is she just that bored?
That's what we're asking. Does anyone have any answers for why she was wife? Just went with the story. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, so Paratik is saying Gauri is also the reincarnation of Sati, Shiva's previous wife,
Yes.
who was burned to death by her parents for marrying a madman like Shiva. So Sati was burned to death, and Gauri was destined to die the exact same way. So she self-immolated, knowing her destiny. Then she was born again as Parvati.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Who are these people in ancient Hindu stories who like, my daughter will not marry a god? You're
Because
too
he's a
good for-"
crazy dude.
I know, but like, he's a god, and people are like, oh, this god is beneath us.
And
for
he's
my
also
daughter."
the destroyer.
Oh yeah.
It's not like he can. But
I
no,
mean, who are
so
the people?
this one right here is where the Sati tradition comes from.
Oh, so the first burning is where. That's why it's named Sati, huh?
That's my understanding.
Yeah. So the first burning is where the Sati comes from.
Oh, and then Katie's saying a more popular version is Shiva's first wife being Sati, and Parvati being a reincarnation of her.
Well, wouldn't that be anyways? Like if what was the second reincarnation? What was her name? The one that emulated
Gauri.
herself? Guri. So if Guri is from Sati and Parvati is from Guri, wouldn't Parvati be indirectly Sati?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah, okay.
It's the third generation of your wife, bro. How many generations of my wife can I get?
Like, yeah, and you know what? I now get why Shiva was so traumatized, because when his second wife burned, he was like, "Not this again! Why do my wives keep burning?"
Oh my god, it's so funny.
It's so traumatic, and then they just didn't die. They were burned alive. God damn it! Yeah, poor Shiva. I feel bad for Shiva now.
Wait, but this is interesting.
Oh, wait. Sati burned herself or was burned to death? You guys are giving us
I
different
thought she was
versions.
honor killed, basically.
Mm.
Can you guys
Oh, by the
remind
way,
me?
we need to do a blasphemous art of the story behind Shiva Lingam.
We need to do a video on that too.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Can you guys remind me what is the goddess that Kalima comes from? Because Kalima is Durga. Durga Ma. So
lion. She rides a lion, doesn't she? Durga Ma?
Yes, but I think this is how deep it goes. So Kali is like the Super Saiyan of Durga.
No. A tiger. She rides a tiger. Sorry.
But isn't Durga like the Super Saiyan of Parvati?
We need a tree. We need a
Guys, is that correct? That Durga is like a form of poverty? Like, isn't that how this all connects?
We need like a Game of Thrones version of like a family tree. It's not even a family tree, they're the same people. Anyways, let's here.
Poverty is the base form, Durga is the Super Saiyan, and then Kali is the Super Saiyan 2. I was right. This is like Pokemon evolutions.
This is great.
Because I used to think, so like Shiva just has a million wives, but technically it's the same wife.
No, it's the same wife. Krishna has a million wives.
Yeah.
I don't know, partners or wives. We need to make a blasphemous art with Krishna and all his like. Didn't Krishna, by the way? I mean, Krishna is technically Vishnu, but didn't Krishna like make copies of himself so he could have sex with all of his wives at the same time?
Whoa!
Didn't he?
Well, I don't know if they were wives or just what are they called, like gopis?
Yes.
I don't think they
Oh,
were like
here,
5 wives.
16,000. Yeah, Krishna has 16,000 wives. Didn't he? Okay, Katie, is it true that Krishna made 16,000 versions of himself so he could enter them all at the same time? Oh, yeah, there we go. Yes, he did.
Oh my god.
That's okay. That's pretty badass. Let's be honest. That's pretty badass. That's pretty cool. Like, imagine feeling all of that at the same time. How could you even, how could you even handle that?
That's so crazy to think about. Were they all in the same place when this happened? Or were they spread out across India?
I think he just basically yeah, never mind. I can't say that. Oh yeah.
Oh
So
my
yeah,
God.
people are confirming that yes, he did.
And then 10 sons and 1 daughter with each?
Wow, so accurate.
This is-
16,108 wives.
But then you're going to end up with a situation like you have in China when there are way too many men, which is going to screw up your society. This wasn't very well thought out. But religions hate women, so.
Okay, look at this.
Uh-oh. I'm calling the police.
Yeah. 8 years. Okay. Krishna's wife Rukmini was only 8 years old when he consummated the marriage. Wow. Wait, that's even less than Muhammad.
Yes.
That's 1 year earlier than Muhammad. Hinduism, 1 year worse than Muhammad. Worse than Muhammad.
Get into
That's
it.
saying
Yeah.
something. That is saying something.
Reflect.
Wow.
FBI, open up.
Somebody file an FIR. If it is FIR.
I think that's way more than FIR. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yes, call Shiva on Krishna. Yes, exactly. So from it. By the way, guys, Krishna is a reincarnation. It's an avatar or reincarnation. I know there's a difference between being an avatar of a god. No,
I
it's a
think an
reincarnation. No. Krishna is a reincarnation of Vishnu. It's the 9th reincarnation. Krishna
No,
is
but
the
that
9th.
is what an avatar is.
No, because an avatar could exist at the same time as you do.
Oh shit.
I think there's a difference. Guys, can you tell me the difference between an avatar and a reincarnation? I think like you could like
I was right. Everyone's saying avatar.
what's the difference between being hey, how come what's the difference? No, eighth is Brahma. Narumu is saying 8th avatar of Vishnu. No, 8th was Brahma. No, sorry, Rama. I say Brahma. 8th
Rama,
was
yeah.
Rama. Yes. No, Krishna was not. My God, I think I know this better. Maybe, guys, everybody's saying 8th avatar of Vishnu. Rama was the 8th avatar of Vishnu. Krishna is the 9th avatar of Vishnu. I think avatar and reincarnation.
The avatar was a proper or standard reincarnation.
Yeah, well, everybody's saying 8th.
That's what I said. I said an avatar is reincarnation.
Okay, so avatar and reincarnation is the same thing. I assume that you could exist at the same time as your avatar, but so I was wrong. Oh no, okay, I was wrong. 7th is Rama. 8th is Krishna. 9th is Buddha.
Well, some people are saying that 9th is Krishna.
Okay, here, Katie knows. Krishna is 8th. Ram is 7th. 9th is Buddha. And 10th is the end times. The 10th is the end times. Okay? Okay, so by the way, remember we started the stream? This is a good way to end the stream. This is a perfect way to end the stream.
I know where you're going.
Because you can see that Vishnu's 9th reincarnation, 9th avatar, is Buddha. That is Hinduism's method of claiming other religions' holy figures and promoting them to godhood by some parts of Hinduism are trying to do that even with Jesus, right? So Buddhism came out of Hinduism, but some branches of Hinduism are now trying to claim Buddhism by making Buddha the ninth reincarnation of Vishnu in Hinduism. Okay? And the 10th, wait, Kalki, is that the guy who I think it is? Kalki versus Kali, yes. This comes full circle, okay? Because Kalki, which is the 10th reincarnation of Vishnu, will come about at the end of times to fight the Antichrist in Hinduism. It's not Antichrist. It's basically Hinduism. Okay. Yes, there's two Kalis in Hinduism.
Yeah.
Goddess Kali, which is a she, and then we have a Kali who is not our goddess Kali. That is a he. It's a demon. Okay, and that guy is like either in Islam we have a Dajjal, in Christianity we have Antichrist, in Hinduism we have Kali. Again, not goddess Kali. This is a different Kali. Okay, this is not a god or a goddess. This is a demon. Okay, and this Kalki guy is going to fight Kali. Okay, and here's how we come full circle. We mentioned that Hinduism tries to claim Buddha as a god. Some parts of Hinduism try to even claim Jesus as a god in Hinduism. And Kali, the demon who fights Kalki in Hinduism, is supposed to represent. Say it, Susan. You know?
No, I don't know.
Who do you think Kali? Some people say, some parts of.
Oh, we talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can say that.
Well, it's not we're saying it.
Okay, according to some sects or some traditions, that Antichrist basically represents Muslims, right?
Yes. Okay. Don't say it so directly. Kali, that Kali guy, according to some Hindus, represents Muslims. So when Hinduism,
when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, what?
Yeah.
You're kidding me."
So when Hinduism is being represented when Islam is being represented in Hindu mythology, they're coming in as the evil part of the end times. They be the enemies. So this is how we came full circle. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Oh, people are saying nonsense. People who don't like what we're saying are saying nonsense. Go check this out yourself, guys. Don't believe it. People, we know. This is how we know. Look, somebody's saying nonsense. Okay. Are you saying who? Are what we're saying is nonsense, or what you're saying their belief is nonsense? Because if you think we're a lot of people, I don't know what you're saying is nonsense, but anyway, like this is how we know. I know that me and Susanna actually know more about Hinduism than many Hindus. You could go do your own research on this. This is definitely true. I actually have this in front of me as well. We should do an entire stream. I don't know. We could actually get in trouble doing a stream on this. So
or we could put it on the secret channel.
No, because YouTube has new standards. They could come after you even on things that you do at other places.
Oh yeah, you're right. They ban the individual.
Yeah. So guys, this is not something that we're claiming. Just go do your own research on Kali and how some modern interpretation, not goddess Kali, okay? Maybe search for demon Kali, okay? Search for demon Kali, not goddess Kali, and see what some modern interpretation of Kalis are. Here, this is proof that we're saying we know more about Hinduism than a lot of Hindus. Because this person from India says what we're saying is nonsense. And if you go search what I just said, you see that it's definitely not nonsense. So we're neither Hindu nor Indian or ex-Hindu, and we know about these things more than a lot of Hindus from India itself. And this is proof, okay? So this is pretty impressive, guys. You have to be impressed with how much and this is how every time we say something that some people get butthurt or they don't like, this is the only response they have. They're like, "Oh no, it's nonsense." But you could go look it up. But it's
literally on the Wikipedia page for this.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. So it's so out there. What we're saying is so out there that you don't even have to dig that hard to find it. Oh my God. All right. Katie's saying Armin and Susanna know more about Hinduism than 99% of the Hindus. I would say, really, you two have learned a lot. Oh, thank you, Katie.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Katie. I appreciate that. And me with my bad memory.
That's what's most impressive.
Okay, read this one. I'll find some other comments.
Sorry, I'm reading Wikipedia because this is fascinating.
Okay. During the colonial era,
Some
Katie
Muslims consider Kali's presence in the picture. They're talking about this like piece of propaganda art to be the representation of the Muslim community. When one of the versions of these pamphlets came into the possession of a state official in 1893, he commented that, "Oh no, the image contained a representation of a Muslim advancing to slay the cow."
Wow. Okay, let's just drop it. I don't know what we're gonna. YouTube is gonna think we're saying that. Katie saying during the colonial era, the Hinduism and the pro-Hinduism distributed posters which portrayed Asura means demon, by the way. Asura Kali with Muslims. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah. Troll saying a giveaway is that butthurt Hindus never provide any rebuttals. Yeah, you know, they just come and say like nonsense. Oh, you're wrong, or you don't do anything. They don't tell you why you're wrong or give you any information. They're like, no, you're wrong. That's all they have to say. I got an idea for your next blasphemous art: Lord Krishna with Aisha or Fatima, Hindu-Muslim unity.
That would be a reverse love jihad.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we could think about that.
We're definitely doing more love jihad.
Adult. Aisha as an adult.
Obviously.
Yeah, we do need love jihad. Yeah, we do need a lot more love jihad. Yeah, we need to be, guys, we need to be on YouTube. It doesn't matter if it's more free speech, more we need to be a place where we
where
can
the
reach
biggest audience is.
Where so it's not, we need to be on YouTube. Hinduism BGP is literally calling, what is this?
I'm not familiar. A person.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm not going to read that. That's kind of dangerous for us. Yeah, we already read that. Oh my God, really? Katie's saying there are Hindus who even believe Modi to be avatar of Vishnu or even Kalki himself. Yeah, I mean, how could, like, if he is supposed to be an avatar of Vishnu, he has to be Kalki because Kalki is 10 and we already have 9. So how could he be, if he is supposed to be an avatar of Vishnu, that we don't have like a 9.5, so he has to be Kalki. Anyways, we have to go. All right, guys. All right, guys. Love you guys. Thank you so much. This was fun. Oh, let's end this here. This is funny.
What?
This is the butt hurt. Let's celebrate some butt hurt, some juicy, crying butt hurt for some people who don't like what we're saying. Gamers saying you are idiot. Somebody who can't even do proper grammar. You are idiot, nothing more. You don't even research a bit, please, if you can. Stories from the books. We did, and we have shown that we know more than you and most other Hindus that are watching us right now. So we have done our research, and we are more knowledgeable than you. And cry more. It's entertaining. All right. All right. Bye, guys. Subscribe to our newsletter. All our blasphemous art are available for free. Link in the description. Subscribe. Do it. Do it now. It's Dharma. It's Hikmah.
And it's kosher.
And it's kosher. All right. Bye, guys.